Morning guys, so it's now Sunday, completely missed Saturday. I was hoping to come here yesterday morning, but we ended up moving a whole heap of stuff in the afternoon, and Rachel wanted to go to town because she happened to have 2 days off because it's a long weekend. We're meant to actually have Monday off tomorrow as well, but I'm going to work that as well. But just to try and make up some Maz. It's been a crook last week and then the week before we went back. So yeah, I haven't actually done many hours this week. I was hoping to work yesterday morning up to about lunchtime at 1 o'clock and then go shift the stuff, but it didn't happen that way. Typical. So anyway, actually see just the cheap set of drawers we got for bugger all. So I've got them over there with my toolbox on top of it. We've got some casters here, but we've got no turning casters, so what I'm going to do is next week sometime, I'm going to grab a set of casters and put some extra timber underneath here and just prop it up in some casters so at least I can move it around. Try and, I don't know, try and get a bit more organised in here, and then I'm going to put a lot of my bigger tools in the drawers that, you know, won't, so I can try and keep stuff off benches. That's been my biggest lacking is just a place to put tools, or, you know, like I'd love a big massive roll cab, you know, like double length of my toolbox and even a bigger toolbox, but I just haven't got the money for it and haven't had the time to even look at anything or anything like that, you know. So that's sort of one thing I've been lacking. So that's, hopefully I might be able to get it so I can actually put some tools away a bit more often, instead of just stuff lying everywhere. And that also gives me a little bench space over there again to try and clear some clutter, if you know what I mean. And just give me a little more working space. I've actually got a big vise at home that's about the same size as this one, but not a twisty one. I've been half tempted to bring that here too. As much as I would like it at home, I haven't actually even got a bench at home. I've actually got a couple of old sets of drawers at home, out in the shed, which I'm thinking about maybe mounting the vise on, but if I don't do that there, because I've got virtually no tools at home now, because most of them are here, I might bring it here and mount it on the bench, so, because that vise there is quite small, but it wouldn't hurt to have another big vise here, you know what I mean? But anyway, I might have to have a reshuffle around that shit. The grinder might be right there, but I might just reshuffle some stuff, you know what I mean? Just have a bit more organised, try and clear some clutter so we actually, you know, not so bad. And if I can get some wheels, at least then I can wheel that round. And you know, if I'm picking up tools, I can just move to where the bulk of the tools are, sort them out, throw them away, and not having to pick all the tools up and drag it. So I can just take the toolbox to close to where I am, sort the tools out, put them away, drag it to where those other tools are, sort them out, put them away, and then put it back over there or wherever, you know, wherever I'm working. Now if I'm working on the chassis, I can bring the toolbox over here and I've got it here. I should be able to put like the hammers and dollies and hopefully in one drawer and bits and pieces like that, you know. I'm not sure how much weight those drawers will take, but at least I've got to put some stuff away that I can't fit in the box. So that's cool. Hopefully I'll get that sorted. Need some more body filler. Hopefully we'll get that. We're probably not going to get that until Tuesday because it's fucking public holidays. But I'm going to get these sanded down, and then hopefully those side balances, I might attack those side balances and get the strengthening around those back edges of them today. And then I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do tomorrow because I've got some body filler, but I might get into that front end stuff again tomorrow. I might actually separate the springs and get them fully cleaned up in between, just see what they're like in between, get them clean up so we can maybe etch them, and then we'll see if we can get this black paint maybe Friday when we get the body filler, and so we get some of that stuff painted and back on here. Hopefully I might get bag down here, maybe tomorrow or something like that too, and just see if we can work out these kingpins. You know, see, he'll tell me exactly how they're meant to come apart, and we'll better get them apart. But, so I can know how that works. And then I can work on the back end as well and get this chassis back together so we get the body back in there. Let's see, once I'm back on wheels where we can wheel it around and maneuver it, and I can finish that and whatever. So yeah, hopefully, I'd like to be painting this thing by Christmas. So I've got, what's the end of October now, so I've got 2 months to get that painted. I'd like to have paint on the body at least on the chassis and starting to put it together. That's my plan. That's what I'm hoping, to get painted. Should be able to do it, you know, it's just a matter of getting a few of these steps finished so we can get that body back on there and bolted down and sorted. Because I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with that door yet. I've just been looking at it and it's, yeah, I might end up cutting in a metal structure and see if I can get that corner to pull in a little bit at the bottom and just re-weld it or something. Just play around with that a little bit. Because, yeah, I don't know if it's, when I bolt it back down, we're going to fix that problem, but we'll work it out. Anyway, I'll get sanding these and then I'll start playing with those balances. I'll have Claudia up over here and get them sorted. I was hoping the casters we have here, I've got 4 straight ones because we've used the turning ones to to go underneath that dolly. So we ended up with, we had 2 here, we bought another set, but yeah, now we've ended up with 4 straight ones. So I could put them on it, but you wouldn't be able to turn it, you just be able to push it one direction, which is not ideal. Doesn't worry me if it's got 2 turning and 2 non-turning, you know what I mean? I'd actually prefer it to be that way. But, especially you get weight on it because they're easy to manoeuvre when they don't want to roll all directions. Yeah. We'll work for that tomorrow hopefully too, or Monday or whatever. Tuesday. Anyway, I'll get sorted here and we'll get sanding because that's not going to take a lot to knock down, and then I can't do much more with that until we get more body colour. This is one other thing too I grabbed. Was it late Friday? I was walked in the second-hand shop with a young fella and spied these, and I thought, well, instead of beating my glasses up with the angle grinder, I'll do that instead. Might save me $900 glasses from getting any worse. It only cost me $5. And if they get really bad, I'll just throw them away and find something else. Or I could probably, no, that doesn't come out, but yeah. Anyway, I'll find another pair or something at some other point, but that'll be better than my glasses anyway, $5. That'll save it a big lot. So the glass isn't scratched. Righty, so I've started out with having a wee tidy up. I wouldn't say, not really, but just sorting some tools. But I'll just give you a quick look at this. I can probably take this down a bit more now that I'm blowing it off and get all the dust out of it. I might DA this a wee bit more yet. Get a bit more through here. I'm not really through to steel anywhere except for I'm starting to come up on it here, but I should better get a bit more out of here. So that's not far away though. This obviously needs another skim. This was because it was the end of it, and it was really hot, and the body full was going off quick, and some of it I smeared on there I probably shouldn't have, but it filled the gap in the meantime. So this needs another full skim, and hopefully we'll get a lot of these where the filler was going off when I first scraped some of it on. But anyway, so that's cool. So it's given it an initial layer. I might have to have another wee look at that, but maybe just so we can get this edge up a little bit. It feels down a wee bit, so I don't want it too thick in there. I might just better hammer this up a little bit, so it's not quite so proud, but it doesn't feel bad. But yeah, obviously needs a shitload more through here. Possibly could block a little bit more off of here just to get this down a little bit, but it's obviously, it was a bit wavy this one compared with that side, but that's alright. So what I've been doing over here, I've obviously picked up just tools mainly. I haven't really cleaned, but I've picked up tools. So in here, I've got all my body hammer stuff, body tools. So hammers, dollies, just obviously dad's stuff in here as well. A couple of metal files, spoons, whatever. That's just basically everything that I've got here, I think. In the meantime, if I come across more, I'll pop it in there. And here, I've got my air tools. What do you want to call them? Vice grips that I've picked up. I've got my paint spanners in there, paint gun spanners, and just my aviation snips, what do you want to call them? Metal snips. So that's what's going on in here. I'm just going to put my drills and my hammers and just any other spare bigger stuff in here. And I haven't got anything in the bottom yet. So yeah, I've just been putting tools away. Over here I've got some hammers here to put away. But I've just shifted stuff down here. I've still got to pick stuff up, but I'm just getting any like the chisels and bits and pieces and stuff. I'm just going to move down here so it gives me a bit more bench space to work with and just sort of keep some of the access to the tool stuff that's not mine, if you know what I mean, over in this direction, but I still use regularly. Like the drill bits, I need to go through all the drill bits and have a sort out and put a lot of them back, the files, and they can go over there, obviously, the drill can go over there. These aren't all mine, but I'll just put them all on the toolbox, and I know which ones are mine, which ones aren't. So if I do happen to move on from working in here, well, I can take mine with me and leave the other stuff here. No, I've got to have a lot bit more of a clean up. I'll get the this sort of stuff a bit more situated better. What I'd like to do is with some of the excess plywood and stuff, maybe build a couple of little shelves. Maybe build some shelves in here to sit some of this stuff up on, or have it so it's like on an angle or something, so it's up here to the road, and just have it, can you see coming along and just clear some of the space for just sitting maybe the power tools on, but have the batteries chargers up, so it's a bit more organised. Again, this is not my stuff. So yeah, like maybe with some of the excess, the apply, maybe make a couple of little shelves and just pop them up there at some point when we get a chance, just so we can get the power chargers or the chargers up off the bench out of the road. So yeah, I need to have a bit more clean. I've got some spanners and all sorts of crap to put away, but at least I'm having a bit of a sort out again. That's the biggest problem, is to have places to put tools cleanly and easily without tripping over yourself a lot of the time, and I just haven't quite had that tool placement sort of sorted, if you know what I mean. It's sort of been an evolving thing. Hopefully we'll get these over there shortly, and we'll have a bit more of a sort out and figure out what we want to keep over here and what we don't want to keep over here, you know. And get these blue racks over yonder, and we can stack a lot of that other crap on there. I can sort some other stuff out, and we'll get that set up, and we're still waiting on the press to come, you know, and we can situate a bit of this stuff better, you know, along in here. So yeah, it'd be good to have a bit more, well, it's not going to be any more space, but it's just going to be a bit more organised, which would be handy. So this will be sort of like the machinery sort of fab sort of part, and that'll be sort of the working area, and then possibly eventually, if they do build on, we'll have more space over the other side. Righty, so what we're doing here is I'm going to make the reinforcement for here where it bolts on. This was actually bent up. I'm not sure why it was bent up, but if it needs to be trimmed off later on, we can trim it off, doesn't matter. For some reason it's been beaten in. I don't know, I can't remember if I've done that or somebody else must have done that, but it may need, you know, trimmed off at some point, but we'll get this piece made anyway. Work out what we're doing here. Something like that should do the job. Cut a couple of those out, that should fit the other one. Here. Yeah. Spot on. Make a couple of those without obviously knocking holes in it, just in case, because these probably aren't exactly the same as what the other side are, and then I can punch the, you know, we can drill the holes out and I can open them up with the, what do you want to call it, die grinder, and just weld them in from the inside, just drill a heap of holes in here, spot weld it on, whatever, and then we can, after we've got it probably undercoated and all that stuff, I'll put some little bit of seam sealer in on the back edges. I don't know if you can see right down there, can you? Yeah, I'll put on the back side edge. This is on which you might put a couple on, clamp it down, spot weld it on a couple more places. And then we can seam seal the back of them when we obviously paint, before we paint. Just make sure that no shit can get in underneath. Clean it up, but yeah, we'll get these on here. And like I said, if we need to trim this out, we can trim it out at some other point, you know. It's not hard to look around there with the angle grinder and clean it up. This one's not like that, so I'm just not quite sure why that was beaten, but we'll find out. When we get the body back on the chassis, we might slot these in and just do a recheck before we, you know, obviously get them too far, and just make sure that that doesn't need to be scalloped out there, whatever. I can't remember why it's like that, but it is. There you can see. So I'll see if I can get a couple of these cut out, and then it shouldn't be far away from lunch, and I'll come back. While I'm here, there's actually quite a cool little video clip. It's about 11 or 12 minutes long. I actually thought it might have been longer. Carl Fisher from Make It Custom, I'm trying to think who the guys are that did the video. They did some filming and put together this 11 or 12 minute clip, whatever it is. I actually thought it might have been a bit, sort of a half an hour sort of type thing. Diving a little bit deeper. It's pretty cool though. Like it's some really, really cool, I'd say, cinematography and all that sort of stuff and bits and pieces. Like it's basically about that truck that he built, that whatever it is, 40, it's a Dodge anyway, but it's, it's all sorts of bits and pieces off different things. Really, really cool truck. Quite a really, really cool video. And like, it just makes you want to go out there and just build something or make something or just drag something out of some old wreck out of somewhere and just, build something really cool, radical rat rod sort of thing, you know what I mean? I wouldn't really call his a rat rod either. It's not well, it depends on what you define as a rat rod. I wouldn't say it's a junk rod, if you know what I mean. Like it's more of a hot rod, rat rod, is bare metal. If you haven't seen the video, go look it up. It's called Metal Reborn. Inside Carl Fisher's mind or something like that. I'll put a link up somewhere. It was on a pay-per-view and then now it's been released onto YouTube. I think it was released a week or two ago. Like on the thing, you could actually watch it as when they released it, and I think they probably might have had a sort of live sort of thing. But I've watched it this morning a couple of times and it's pretty cool. But I just wish it was a little bit longer and sort of dived a little bit deeper, but cool video. And if you want to go watch Make It Custom, which is Carl Fisher Japan's Customs in BC there somewhere, I think he's actually in Vancouver Island, I think, but I'm not 100% sure, but he's in that area. Another one that's in that area is that Coastal Water Reaction, and they're on that Vancouver Island. If he's not in Vancouver Island, he's near there, if you know what I mean. He's in that British Columbia area. I'm talking a fairly broad area, but those Rust brothers are from that sort of area too, kinda. They sort of on the outside of skirts of that sort of area. Rick from Old Time Garage. There's quite a few people in that area. They've got actually quite good channels, or they've got a TV show. That Make It Customs is well worth watching. But that video, Metal Reborn. The look inside Carl Fisher's mind, or whatever it's called. Cool video. They're 11 or 12 minutes long. I'll post a link. Go watch that. Righty, I think that'll do. I've got what I wanted to do today. I could carry on and get the old poly pad out and clean that up a bit more, but I'm not too packed. I'd rather spend a couple of hours with the missus extra today, since she's at home and I'm here, and then she's at work again tomorrow, and so am I, even though it is a public holiday. So I'll try and spend an extra couple of hours with her a wee bit. So yeah, I think tomorrow, depending obviously on how time goes, I'll attack the springs first, get them separated. Hopefully I can get Dad down here, so if we can get the kingpins out of that front axle, get that stuff cleaned up, and then start etching, and then hopefully Tuesday we can get body filler and the black paint in here, and I can carry on with this sort of stuff, probably clean this up, whatever, and then we can get some black paint on these front suspension anyway, bolt that back together. Doesn't matter if the wheels don't, or doesn't matter if the wheels just go back on the way they are. We can take them off later and tart them up, work out bearings and all that sort of stuff. We can just throw them back on in the meantime. It's not going to matter or anything. We've still got to make center caps and all that sort of stuff yet. So yeah, but yeah, you really need to get that done, and then once we get that done, hopefully get some body filler, I can start doing this stuff and that rear valance and the sides for the front, and the front valance, and in between that stuff I'll get this rear axle done. Hopefully get that on, and then we can get the body back on, and probably even some body filler on the body in in between where the front seat back is and the front part of the cowl, so we can get at least a couple of skims of body filler on that and just get it blocked out, just rough blocked out, and then we can get the doors back on it when it's on, and get everything lined up and make sure we're happy, get that other back door sorted, and yeah, and then work out what we need to do, whether we need to put a bit more body filler on to flatten that out, or whether we can just block it and see what happens, or whatever, if you know what I mean. And we'll just go from there. But yeah, I think there's no reason we can't have this car going back together and painted before Christmas. There's no reason at all. As long as everything goes smoothly over the next few weeks, then we can. We've still got to strip that motor down, but we can do that out of the car if we have to. And get the body back on, leave all the front sheet metal off somewhere, wrap it up, keep it out of the road, get that, strip the motor down, check that, all that sort of stuff, and then put it back together, throw it in the vehicle. We've still got to rebuild the trans, get that in the vehicle. Yeah, I was hoping to be able to do the body off and work on the chassis and get that all back together with the running gear and everything back in it, and then bolt it back on, but it doesn't look like it's going to work that way. Just, it's one of those things, I guess. But anyway, thanks for watching. I've got quite a bit of video editing to do. I'm not quite sure whether this is going to be any of this video or not. We'll just see how it works. Because I've got one that I've just edited, but I've got a couple of days of footage and bits and pieces and fluff around plus today, so we'll see how it all. I just haven't had a chance to go through it all, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll catch you later on, and I'll see you tomorrow or in the next video. Hey guys, if you need welding gas, go see the boys at Cool Gas. If you're in New Zealand, yep, go see these guys. They'll look after you. Cool Gas, New Zealand.